Hey everyone again. It's been a while. While I've been doing my challenge of collecting and beating every PS2 game, there's always more PS2 games to collect. We're getting near the end really of my PAL collection journey, but there's been still games along the way that I've grabbed. There's about another 100 or so games. As you can see in the background, I've just been organizing more stuff. And I'm ready to now show you guys another continued update of the games. Last time, obviously, I showed them all in alphabetical order. This time, I'm going to do a bit more of a simpler way. I'll show you the filler stuff, which is the sports titles, the racing titles. Then I'm going to show you the other more obscure PAL stuff that I've got. And then at the end, I'm also going to show you guys the other cool stuff, which is my North American grabs and my Japanese exclusive grabs, and two other really interesting items as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the collection update. It's time to add up the total again to go past more numbers that I've got still counting in the PS2 complete collection. Thanks a lot and enjoy the grabs. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to show you the sports titles first. When I looked back at my collection, and while I've been solely collecting over the last 6 or 7 months, there's been a very obvious sports franchise that my collection was missing. So I've been focusing heavily on trying to get them. I think I've now nearly got them all. There are still a few games missing, but we're getting there in this certain franchise. But we'll go through it all, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I grabbed over the last couple of months. Starting with AFL Live 2003. This is a complete in box copy. Now, this is a Australian PAL exclusive. AFL has some Australian only releases. This is one of them. Someone in the UK was selling it. It's got all this mentioning of like a damaged product. Annoyingly, it's stuck on there, but it was a very cheap version. It's sadly just been blemished with a sticker. The complaint on it, funny enough, was that the memory card was missing. But unless this store provided memory cards, or the case, they didn't like the fact that the memory card slot was missing on it. I don't know. Either way, AFL Live 2003. There's still a few more of these that are mostly Australian exclusives. I'll get them one day, though. Next, we have And One Street Ball. Yeah, there we go. And One Street Ball. Another PAL game in my collection. Complete in box. So, yeah, there's one of the more obscure basketball-themed games. We then have, I believe, the last FIFA game I needed, FIFA 2013. Complete in box. Just a nice to have all the FIFA games. Already have the top of the shelf harder ones. 2014, 20 for Pro Evo, and 2014 for FIFA. Then we have the last Konami International Superstar Soccer 3. This was another franchise I believe they released alongside the Pro Evo games. So yeah, but this is complete in box. Very nice condition as well. I then have, now we're going on to more the franchises. I believe this is the last Madden PAL game I needed, Madden 2008. Always like to try and get the, the official logo stuff if I can. It's not a big deal break if I can't. Complete in box. Very nice. And now the actual franchise that I've had a huge gap in, and you're going to see quite a few. Surprisingly, I needed so many, but this is exactly how many I needed in the collection. First of all, NBA 2K3. Now, PS2 collectors, I highly recommend you try and find this one. This has become a very, very hard game. I even annoyingly only have a disc and box version, no manual. This is becoming very, very hard to find. It's the only NBA game that I believe was released. NBA 2K game that was released. The Sega ones, anyway, that were released before 2K took it over. But yeah, keep an eye out on that one for PAL collectors. And now a lot of the EA licensed ones. NBA Live 2007, complete in box. Then we have NBA. Oh no, this is actually an odd one. Actually, sorry. This is NBA 08. Sony also bought out an NBA franchise. This is the only Sony licensed NBA game that came out in PAL. They pushed out a lot more of these in the North American territories, but yeah, This is another really obscure one to find. You can find German copies online, I believe, but to get the UK PAL version is a little bit more of a struggle. But yeah, keep your eyes out on that one, PAL collectors as well. But now here we have the EA licensed one. So I've got NBA Live 08, complete in box with the little logo in the bottom there. Then 2009, same thing. We've got the logo luckily again. Complete in box once again. Now it's the other franchise's turn, but it's still NBA, but now the 2K games. 2K6, complete in box. Then we have 2K10, once again with a nice little logo there. Complete in box. And now these ones were CEX roulettes before, but I've never seen these in the wild, so I decided to get these two with a CEX roulette gamble. But NBA 2K11, fantastic condition for a CEX roulette. And the big CEX gamble for me was 2K12 as well. This this one's gonna go up, I think, sooner or later. This is one of the end-of-life PAL sport titles, especially. Unbelievably, NBA went up to 12 in PAL. But there we go, complete in box as well. A little bit of damage on the corner, we'll say there. But overall, I'm pretty chuffed with getting a complete boxed version of a CEX roulette, especially like that. But also, one last one, NBA Streets Volume 2. I still actually need NBA 1 and 5 and 1 and 3. Highly recommend you try and grab these as well. I think NBA Streets 3 is starting to go up. So keep your heads out for NBA games. In general, really. Now, also another one, quickly to wrap up some of the franchises. NHL 06, complete in box. Any NHL 08, surprisingly, I got this off of eBay, sealed. We'll be opening it one day. But yeah, sealed copy of NHL 08. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So yeah, can't wait to play this eventually in my challenge. And an NHL 2K3. Yep. Sega pushed out a couple of these as well. Complete in box. Really nice condition. Loads of... I mean, it's got a little broken tab. I might replace the... Oh, no, that's the point. I can't sadly replace this because then I lose the official NHL logo thing there. But, hey, nice condition, bar the little broken tab. And to wrap up the other sports things, we're on to the letter P's now. One of the Premier Manager games I needed, 2006 to 7. Still a few more of these in this franchise I actually need. But still, complete in box. Oh, actually, I might replace that one. The manual's a little bit scuffed as well. Is it wet? Is it water damaged? Didn't actually check this one. Oh, that's a shame. Might try and get another copy of that. Might take note of that, actually. They are quite cheap still in CX, I believe. But here's a Premier Manager game. We also have another Rugby League game that I believe I'm missing one more. I think there's like a World Cup edition or something. But Rugby League, complete in box. Then we have a bit more of a... I mean, this is more of a... I put it in the sports section just because. But, yeah, Strike Force Bowling. It's always... When I look through my list, there's stuff like this. I go, oh my goodness, how did I not have this? There was still a bowling game I was missing. There we go. Always interesting to find games that I'm surprised I don't have. Virtual Pro Football, a Sega game once again. I believe this is linked to the Let's Make a Soccer Team or something. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. But Virtual Pro Football. And finally, a bit more of an obscure PS2 title, this. Another one I say PAL collectors to look out for. Very odd named, but here we go. It's the XS Junior League Soccer. Yeah, this one I believe had a PS1 release as well, but PAL collectors, keep a lookout for this as well. It's becoming more and more harder to find Very obscure. If you can try and grab it when you can, I would recommend so, because it's becoming one of the more tougher games to find. But there you go. There's the sports games. And now let's go check out the racing game, shall we? So now we're on to the racing section. Here we go. Starting with Euro Rally Championship, one of the more shovelware racing titles, but complete in box. Then we have, once again, I forgot that this franchise was running alongside the Sony franchise, but there was a couple here. EA Sports Formula 1 Racing 2002 and 2001. Here we go. Got both of these finally. Once again, sometimes it blows my mind that I didn't have these. So yeah, 2002 and 2001 complete in box. Always blows my mind that there's stuff missing, but it happens. It does happen. Then we have another kind of this is an interesting one actually. This is Ferrari Challenge. Now it's got a really weird full name. Here you go. Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Firelli. Now this one in particular has two different variants. I actually was able to find the deluxe version, but I don't think it has any real difference. So if you're really into your PAL collecting and want to go get variants, this literally has, I'll quickly show you now, a sticker. That deluxe is just a sticker stuck on the front cover. It really is just stuck on, unbelievably, that deluxe thing. You can even, if you run your finger along it, you can even feel it's just stuck on. So if you really want to find a weird box art variant, go ahead and try and grab a copy of this. Also, as you can see there, there's a weird Ferrari official sticker license as well on this box. But, you know, not every PAL collector needs to worry fully about box art variants. I'm not too fussed about it, but it's nice to get them when I can. But yeah, you want to look out for like official Ferrari sponsorship logos as well. Be on the lookout for that version. Then we have another one I thought I had forever, Formula Challenge, another kind of shovelware racing title by Oxygen. Then we have Freestyle Metal. What is this one going? Yeah, Freestyle Metal X. Another one that was under the radar. Didn't know I had. Completely thought I had this as well. I've seen this on the shelves multiple times, but glad to have it. Then we have now this one. I was also surprised I didn't have, and this PAL collectors. If you're trying to get this one, be on the lookout. This is becoming very obscure and hard to find now. I was able to grab this luckily on eBay, but the copies on eBay have become very, very non-existent, and they're going up in price. So if you want the weird prologue version of Gran Turismo 4, start grabbing it now. Especially one like the cool bonus extras, which is the DVD making of. Yeah, just be aware that this game is starting to get a little bit hard to find. Now, this is another obscure title for the PAL collectors, GTR Touring. There's the title there. Another one to keep aware of. This is another very obscure PAL game. It's already quite uncommon anyway if you look up for copies for this. Getting also very hard to find, so keep your eyes peeled for GTR Touring. Another obscure one is IndyCar Series. There is another variant, but that one, I think IndyCar Series 2000. Let me quickly check. IndyCar Series. Let me check my eyes on my list. IndyCar. Yeah, there is an IndyCar Series 2005. This is IndyCar Series. This one's a harder one to find, so be aware of IndyCar Series. Yeah, PAL collectors might want to be on lookout for this before it starts getting a bit more and more uncommon and harder to find. Then to wrap things up, I didn't know I didn't have Juiced 2, but an easy enough game to find, and once again, unbelievably, I have seen this on shelves loads of times, especially in my local used game store, and finally realized I had to grab it. Now, there's also this Monster Truck Extreme. off-road edition. There is an arena edition. They are, I believe, they're completely the same, but one is in arena racing and one is on like off-road racing. But yeah, they exist, two different versions of it. This one is a German copy, sadly. This was a lot easier to grab the German version. Very cheap to grab the German version. One day I might grab the UK version if I can, once I've got a fuller collection done and dusted. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that as well. The last motocross game I needed, Motocross versus ATV Untamed. Thought I had all the motocross games, clearly didn't, but now I do. And another game I keep seeing in CEXs, I can't believe I didn't own it. The classic Road Rage 3 Atlas published Phoenix game. Oh yes, unbelievably. Sadly, when I went to this CX store, they did not have a manual with it. I'll probably try and grab, and the condition's not the greatest thing. I'll probably try and grab another copy with a manual or see if I can buy the manual separately. But they are all the racing games added to the list. And now I'm going to show you the other PAL games I've grabbed that are also not really in the sports title or the shovelware racing titles. So here we go. So here are the other PAL games in my collection that we're going to add. There are some bangers and there's some outstanding ones, the more rare, harder to find ones. And we're starting off with one of them, which is Airborne Troops. Now, this one is a very hard game to find, especially if you want to get the British, French box art variant. Keep your eyes peeled on this one. Very hard game to find. There's one copy I last checked on CX the other day. It's been in Folkestone for a while, though, that copy, so I don't know if it's a good copy or not. But there we go. Now, here is a very obscure German exclusive. Alarm for Cobra 11. We do like to collect some of the more obscure other variants of the world PAL games. You can see a few in this pickup video. Here is one. Can't wait to check it out. Followed by another one, obviously, Autobahn Racer number 4. I think this is the last Autobahn Racer I needed, but this is a exclusive as well. So keep your eyes peeled if you want some more of the obscure German exclusives. Now, this is a hard one to find. This is the German version I've got myself of Black Buccaneer, as you can see there. This is getting very hard to find, especially if you want the UK copy. This version does play in UK, and I'm okay with that myself. I mean, I'm trying to collect and beat all these games. One day I would like to get a UK variant, but at the moment, hey, it plays in English for the challenge as well. And as a collector, I have a copy of Black Buccaneer. Now, this is probably one of the hardest Buzz games to find, apart from regional variants, you know, Brain of Oz, Brain of Germany, Brain of Denmark, and everything like that. But this is Buzz, Brain of the World. So you want to keep your eyes peeled for this. At the moment, I'd say if there ever is a copy in CEX, that's where I grabbed my one from. Actually, I did a CX roulette on this. It's becoming very hard to find, so maybe keep your eyes peeled in CEX and take a gamble yourself. This is getting very, very hard to find. Another Buzz game I needed, Buzz Monster Rumble, one of the Buzz Junior games. I still need Ace Racers, one of the more expensive junior games, the racing Buzz game title. But it's nice to have another one of the Buzz Junior titles out the way. The last PAL Cabela game I needed, there's a lot in this franchise. This is Cabela's Big Game Hunter. This has a very weird naming issue in PAL, actually. I think there's 2 that go by the name of Big Game Hunter, so it gets a bit confusing for collectors. But yeah, this was the first Cabela game to be released in PAL. And there are quite a few of the North American exclusives I still need. Surprisingly, I didn't have this. Capcom Fighting Jam. Complete in box, by the way. Yeah, it's always weird to have fighters that I thought I owned, especially the Capcom ones that I sadly didn't have, but now we do. So it's nice to have another Capcom fighter in the collection. the Cartoon Kingdom, one of the Phoenix games I still needed. One of the cheap and cheerful ones. Not much to say apart from, you know, it's full of those terrible mini games, and I don't think it contains any of the movies on it. It's just a mini game collection. One of the PAL shoot 'em ups I still needed, Castle Shikigami. Complete in box, very nice condition as well. And yeah, these obviously these shoot 'em ups always are the more uncommon, hard to find, more expensive PAL games. I know there's quite a few people that love these. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled for the shoot 'em ups. Now this is definitely one PAL collectors need to be aware of. Code Lyoko. Now I got very lucky with my when I was on eBay one day and I got the English version. But I mean, PAL collectors just try and get any variant of this. I'm sure it plays in English, all the versions. Very, very hard PAL game to find. Incredibly hard. So if you're trying to go for a full PAL set, keep your eyes peeled on this one because I think over the next couple of years, it's just going to get more and more obscure, more and more expensive. It's already floating at around the 50, 60 pound mark. So yeah, be aware. One of the Dancing Stage games, Dancing Stage Max. There we go. Is it? Did I get the? Is this? Oh, I mean, I bought it from these guys, Own for Less. But yeah, it comes with a manual, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, nice. It's a nice manual. So yeah, thank you, Own for Less. I definitely bought this one from them. I remember they had it on eBay. One of the Dancing Stage games I need. Nice to own it. Definitely nice to own it. Now another oh, I should really add this in the racing series. I completely forgot. Downforce, another Titus game. They very much died in this generation. One of the other racing games I still needed in the collection, but nice to own. One of the iToy games. I love Ape Escape. I'm surprised I didn't already have this, but looked at my collection and I did not own the iToy Ape Escape game. But it's nice to own it now. Now another German exclusive. I've been kind of on a bit of a Euro trip with my PAL collecting recently because these are the ones I need to grab now. Germany's next top model, only German released. So yeah, if you're after a complete PAL set, don't forget to keep your eyes peeled on this. It's quite a cheap game still, so it should be easy to find for you collectors. Now this is a big hitter. Gigawing Generations. Got very lucky with this one. Someone in Australia was selling it at a very, very fair price. So it arrived here safe and sound, tested, works perfectly, and of course comes with a manual. So thank you to the person from eBay who had this and sold it at fair price. It went to a lovely collector, and I'm so happy to get this because this is now soaring around the £100 mark easily. One of the rarer, hard to find shoot 'em ups. Speaking of shoot 'em ups, the last Gradius game I needed, Gradius 5. Complete in box as well. Another lovely game in complete collection. Always games that are very hard to find, and I'm very glad to finally have another Gradius game under my wing. Now, I needed to finish these series off as well, and I got the last two that I needed in my collection, I believe, for PAL. That is Guilty Gear X2 to begin with. A game that's quite easy to come across. You'd probably find it in a few stores, a few CXs. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for this. There's also Guilty Gear X2 Reloaded. I don't know the differences. I haven't played either of them yet, but there we go. Now this one, once again, PAL collectors, you need to be aware of. Guilty Gear Ascent Core Plus. Ascent Core Plus, whatever it is, Double Cross. My goodness, is this game notoriously hard to find and is getting expensive. As you can see, I bought a sealed version. I will be opening this one day, but I had to buy this sealed. I spent £65 on this sealed. Why? Because at this point in recording, £65 for this was a fair price, and I have been watching the CEX listing for this every day. I usually refresh my CEX watch page about 3 times a day. I never see it in stock, never see it get traded in. this game is very hard to find. If you do get a CEX copy, well done. Congrats. You probably won the lottery there in itself. Be aware of this game. Try your best to get it before this becomes a very hard to find PAL game. Now, another game I didn't know I had, suppose it's absolutely terrible. Hidden Invasion. This has actually 2 box art variants as well. Might get the other one at one point. But yes, Hidden Invasion, a very cheap, easy to find PS2 game that I'm sure many of you collectors maybe already have. Now, we also have 2 here that I'm going to show off quickly. Karaoke Stage 2 and 1. I think the second one is starting to get a little bit harder to find. But, yes, I don't have the manual, sadly, with the first karaoke stage. But I do have the manual for the second. But also, I got the CEX. CEX were doing bundles for the first one and the microphone for £1 plus postage. So yeah, I decided, why the hell not? I might as well go and get it. So I grabbed the microphone and karaoke stage mix as a bundle. So I have all 3 interesting items there as well now in my collection. The other notorious collection of minigames on the PS2, Kiddies Party Pack by Phoenix. Oh boy. Yeah, they keep making... They made a lot of these games. And my god, like, what a wasted disk space, some may say. I have to agree in some sense. Now, some other game. I think I'm still missing one of the King of Fighters, but I've been collecting the other. I've been on a bit of a fighting game binge, as you can see in my recent pickups as well. King of Fighters, 2002. Here we go. Complete in box as well. Lovely, lovely. Very nice to have. And very much happy to grab that. And speaking of King of Fighters, I believe this is the last King of Fighters game I needed in my collection. I already have the very, very hard to find King of Fighters game that is ridiculously expensive. Like, I can't remember the name of it now. What one is it called? The one to be aware of for PAL collectors is... let's double check. King of Fighters... Oh, King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match. My goodness, be aware of that one if you can find it. So yeah, I saw this one. This is starting to become a really hard game to find. It was quite a cheap listing on eBay. I thought it was a little bit sus, but I went for it. It is complete in box, but the guy obviously did not show the back, which was clearly the French version. It does play in English though, but yeah, I probably will try and get a UK version sometime. But yeah, sometimes when you see like an eBay lot like listing like that, and they don't show the back, there's usually a reason for it. I'm quite notoriously aware, but I took the gamble because it was quite a cheap buy, and yeah, bit the bullet with that gamble. Now, another Euro exclusive, Ledretiat. It's based on a game show, I believe, but look at that. Inception there. A game in a game in a game. It very much looks like, I don't know. I don't know how this plays. Very much... I don't know how I'm going to understand any of this. It's native Italian, I believe. It's a fully Italian game, so this will be interesting when we finally get around to playing it in my challenge. I'm sure I'm going to struggle every step of the way. And now for a very, very rare PAL exclusive. Lupin the Third. I believe it's translated to, like, the death of Lupin the Third or something. Or Love to Lupin the Third. I can't... Sorry, I mistranslated. Once again, a sealed copy. Very hard to find if you're becoming a PAL collector. This game was also released in Japan, but Lupin has a very weird release schedule. Lupin has 3 games on the PS2. 2 came out in PAL. 3 came out in Japan. 1 came out in North America. The first game has a North American, PAL, and Japanese release. The PAL release doesn't have English subs. It only has French and Italian subs. So if you want to play the game in English, get the North American version. Then the second one only came out in Japan. which is that and that. And then finally, the third one, 505 Games decided, you know what, let's localize that one as well. So it came out in Japan and PAL, and once again was only translated into French and Italian once again, I believe. But yes, PAL collectors, be aware of the looping games. They are getting quite hard to find and very obscure as well. Now, another game I didn't know I didn't own, Marvel Nemesis. Unbelievably, I saw it in the store, checked my game collection list, and once again, my goodness, how did I not own this game? Kind of more of an obscure banger, maybe. Some people really love this game. I don't know much about it until I play it, but PTO4, I believe it's a very much a... Is that a lottery? Oh, no, something. I thought someone did their lotto in here. Complete in box. So, yeah, if you... I believe it's like a tactics game involving sub-warfare. We'll check it out one day. It's from Koei Entertainment, so it probably will play a lot like maybe Romance of the Kingdoms or something like that. Very interested to see how it does play when I get around to it, though. But PTO4, be aware of that one. A bit more of an obscure one. Another game I thought I had, didn't know. One of the Pirates of the Caribbean games. What's this one? The Legend of Jack Sparrow. I thought I had all the Disney games. Looked through my Disney collection list and was like, oh my goodness. Still had one left to grab. And sorry for the jump cut. There was a phone call. Sod's law while you're trying to record. But another one, Project Minerva, Midas published. Might actually be an alright game. Once again, I see this all the time. Don't know why I didn't own it, but now we have Project Minerva in the collection. Another one that is quite hard to find, PAL collectors out there. It's been a struggle for me to find a copy of this for ages. Samurai Warriors Extreme Legends. It's like Extreme Legends 2 Samurai Warriors is even harder to find. But this one is becoming quite a pain in the backside to find. So if you really want to get games out of the way, be aware of Extreme Legends Samurai Warriors because it's getting there in the regions of harder to obtain. Another very obscure 505 rarer game in the collection now, Space War Attack. These like flight sim shoot 'em ups are the bread and butter of a lot of 505 published games, mostly based on like simple 2000 games, but this is another one we've grabbed now. A couple more shoot 'em ups I still need by the guys, and obviously the infamous Gun Club Hamura I still need. So yeah, one day I'll get them hopefully. Especially Gun Club being the biggest bugbear in my collection to find one day. Another obscure Midas game to maybe be aware of, Spectral versus Generation. I've heard this is a very bad fighting game, but yep, keep your eyes peeled if you're a fighting collector fan for fighting subsets on the PS2. This is one of the more obscure PAL games to be aware of. Another iToy shovelware grab game from Sony, Spy Toy. A game designed for iToy and the kids, I'm sure, is great fun. I've already tried to play an iToy game for my challenge, and with the limited space I have in my room, it's quite a challenge in itself. It definitely ups the difficulty just because of the lack of movement I have, but hey, nice to have another iToy game. Now, here is another obscure PAL exclusive Phoenix game, Steam Express. This is sealed. I did finally bite the bullet and buy a Italian version just because it was absolutely dirt cheap. Why not? These Phoenix games are becoming the biggest bugbear for me. I'm missing about a good 20 or 30 of these, and it's probably going to be the last things I ever get in my collection. Games like Monster Egg, Urban Constructor. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get them. I'm probably going to reach out to collectors that just want to sell their collection to other collectors one day, but my goodness, one day I'll hopefully get all the Phoenix games. One day. They are becoming very hard. Now, this is a movie tie-in game I thought I had once again, unbelievably, Surf's Up. Yes, that DreamWorks surfing movie based around penguins. Now we own it, so I guess I can finally enjoy, eventually one day, playing some surfing penguin action. Now, another very jank Midas game. Shout out to the 6th gen challenge run on Twitch, the Wolf Arok. He recently played this on his challenge, and I didn't know. Didn't know this existed, and I didn't know I didn't own it. So there we go. They came from the skies. Another very it looked jank as all hell. So yeah, I can't wait to play this one in the challenge. But yeah, they came from the skies. Thanks Midas for that. Now this one, you're probably wondering, why did I buy a CD only version of this? Well, this is because it's the very, very hard to find Street Fighter 10th Anniversary Edition. Now, this game only was released as a pre-order bonus, I believe, in PAL, but is a remaster remake of it's basically the Virtual Fighter 1 game using the Virtual Fighter 4 engine. And yeah, this was a pre-order exclusive. It's very hard to find. PAL collectors, be aware. This is probably the only promo exclusive that you'll want in your collection, bar a few others that is a completely exclusive separate game. So yeah, heads up. If you see a copy of this anywhere in decent nick, definitely try and get the Street Fighter 10th Anniversary Edition, because it is an exclusive PAL game. Speaking of exclusive PAL games, another 505 Games Simple 2000 game that we got. The new hot release of World Fighting. Oh boy, I've seen my friend Psyched Plays PS2 do this. And yeah, it definitely is your typical shovelware jank-ass game, but I can't wait to play it. Simple 2000 games that came to PAL are quite a lovely experience. I love 505 Games, Game Street, 505 Game Streets for even bothering to localize and put these games into PAL. It's good to laugh at and enjoy now for a slice of Simple 2000 history. And finally, for the last PAL pickups, X11 Stag, or 12 Stag, however they pronounce this title. Another lovely shoot 'em up, I'm sure, for the shoot 'em up fans. And another one in my collection to get done and dusted. Very nice condition, and very happy to have another shoot 'em up. Now, if you thought we were done there, obviously I mentioned before I am a PS2 collector, trying to collect also not only the PAL, full PAL collection, but also the North American and Japanese exclusives, depending on language barrier reasons. And now I'm going to show you guys some of the extra additions to my collection that I'm going to be adding that are from the North American and Japanese libraries. And we're starting with quite a classic one to begin with, Arcana Hearts, a Atlas published fighter. And I think a lot of fighting fans do quite like this one. As mentioned before, I was on a bit of a fighting binge, so I was trying to grab quite a few fighters this time around. And of course, you can't get the first one without the second one, Arcana Hearts Sugoi 2 or something, or Sugoi Arcana Hearts, I think it's translated to. But the sequel to Arcana Hearts, Japanese only. But yeah, more cute anime girls beating each other up. Then we have a very obscure North American release. I don't even know I can't remember what it's called again now. Dai Senyaraku. This is a very once again. Is this Koei? No, it's not. I believe it's a tanks warfare tactical RPG. But yeah, North American exclusive. This also came out on Xbox, I think, as well. But the case has definitely been replaced because no NTSC North American games ever came out in the PAL Blue cases. But it doesn't matter. Still, it's nice to have another North American exclusive. Now, here is a North American exclusive racer. This is IHRA Professional Drag Racing 2005. Quite a few obscure and North American exclusive races that are more centered around American racing sports. This is one of them. Still a few more to grab, but yes, one that I needed. Now, a classic Japanese racing exclusive. If you know the D, you know Initial D Special Stage. Now, very much huge fan following this has. And yes, Initial D did get some releases on the PS2. So I've been wanting this for a very long time. And it's quite the notorious PS2 classic as well. I believe there is a little bit of a fan's translation out there now. So when I do get around to playing this, I probably will be able to translate the mission mode. I think that's the thing that's been translated. But still, either way, this is a very sought after and popular racing game for the PS2. Now, another North American exclusive, and this is, for challenge reasons, quite a task to be had when I decide to beat this game. Final Fantasy XI. Now, this is the PS2 release that came with the very chunky manual. The how to play, how to log in, and everything. Crazy enough, the person in the UK had a lovely sealed copy of this as well. I will never need to open this because this is literally a dead game. It's impossible to play on PS2 hardware these days. When I do get around to playing this in my challenge, I will have to set a time and dedicated session plays around this so we focus on beating the Steam version. But either way, it's now my collection, so I consider it's time I can finally give it the time it needs and beat this game eventually. But nice to have, especially in such lovely condition. Now we have another Japanese exclusive golf game. Japan do love their golf and their soccer, and baseball especially. I believe this is Kotobi Golf, a exclusive in Japan. It'd be nice to play this one. I do like golf, and sometimes, especially when there's like really interesting designs. This reminded me a lot of like Everybody's Golf, but I believe obviously Konami are behind this one. So it'd be nice to see what Konami do when it comes to a golf game. So we were just speaking about this earlier in the video. Here is the Japanese exclusive Lupin the Third, the second one. So as you can probably tell, I only need to grab the last Lupin game now, which I'm probably going to grab both the PAL version and the North American version, because they are basically two different games. One has got the Adult Swim dub, while the PAL version doesn't. So for easy play time and viewership, I will be grabbing that. But here's the second Lupin the Third game that only came out in Japan. Nice to own and in lovely condition as well. Another Japanese exclusive, we were recently talking about Christmas games on the PS2, and this came up. I can only really, for such a huge library that the PS2 has, the only Christmas game I can officially say that was released in PAL in North America is the Polar Express, which is based around Christmas. Then you've got maybe Raw Danger in PAL, which is a survival, natural disaster survival game that happens around Christmas time. Very few games actually have a Christmas involvement. But here we go. Here is Music Maestro Christmas Edition that only came out in Japan. There is Music Maestro, obviously, available in North America and PAL, but this was a exclusive in Japan, and I finally have maybe possibly the only official Christmas game on the PS2. Now, speaking of exclusive races, the NASCAR series, which I'm going to show you all in one big bundle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, NASCAR only started getting released in PAL starting 2006. I already owned 2005 a while ago, and I've actually played it in my challenge as well. It was quite an actually fun racing game, but a very nice person in the UK had every NASCAR apart from the ones I didn't have. So it's nice to own the official NASCAR collection now on the PS2. All lovely, complete in box, and ready to be played, beaten, and completed at one time or another. But thank you very much to that eBay seller. It's nice. It's very hard to find North American exclusives, especially bundled like that, to get them all in one big collection and knock them all out in one go. So NASCAR 2001 to 5 now gained. Speaking of exclusive sports titles, here we have NBA 2006 and NBA 2007. Now, these are Sony published and developed NBA titles. And there is a 2009 one I'm still needing to grab. But once again, only came out in North America, these ones. The only one that came out in PAL was that 2008 one you saw earlier on in the video. So I still need to get the 2009 one. But yes, more obscure, hard to find for a PAL collector, the North American sport games. And there's a heck of a lot more I need, especially baseball and the college sports games. Now, a game I've been wanting for a while, I am quite an RPG collector. This was sealed. I actually opened it up on stream because I wanted to. But Tower, The Nightmare of Druaga, a very much dungeon crawler, mystery dungeon style game, really. If you've ever played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, it plays like that, this game. I've always wanted... I love trying to get all the North American exclusive RPGs, though. There's still a few more, but very few more I need. But yeah, nice to have that in my collection. Another Japanese title. We recently played Pride 2002, I think. This is Pride 2003, a Japanese exclusive wrestling game based around the Pride franchise. It was pretty fun, actually. It was actually a pretty fun game, the first one. So much that I decided to look for this copy, and there was this guy in the UK selling it. So, you know, when someone is selling a cheap Japanese exclusive you need, I'm definitely going to grab it. And for North American collectors, as well as PAL and any PS2 collector out there, probably the biggest hitter for me in this collection update video. Maybe, I guess, well, a few PAL games we showed earlier, but for North American games, Rad. My goodness, I've been trying to get this game for so long. This is Rad. It is from the people that are famous for doing the Earth Defense Force games. This is, was it Robot Alchemic Drive? You control a giant mech trying to deal with other Godzilla-like creatures that are attacking fictional worlds. So I would definitely check this out at some point if you want. And I highly recommend if you want to try and collect games. This is a very, very hard big hitter to find these days. Now, here is another North American release, Snoopy, the Red Baron. It is a flight sim game with, obviously, the famous IP Snoopy. This only ever came out in North America, which I'm surprised about, honestly. I guess the Snoopy franchise never really caught on outside of the UK, or maybe there was licensing issues involving that, so that's why we didn't get it. But Snoopy and the Red Baron, with the lovely Snoopy IP, can't wait to play this one day, and nice to have it in my collection. Now, the North American exclusive Siphon Filter game we never got, Siphon Filter's Logan Shadow, the famous PS2 releases where it came out on PSP and PS2. Nice to have this one as well. Another obscure game to find, but glad to have as a PAL collector, because this was a North American exclusive. And the last Siphon Filter on the PS2 I needed to grab. And finally, for Japanese North American games, just a simple 2000 game that never got a PAL release or anything in between. This, I forgot to translate it, so it could have gone alphabetically much earlier. It is the quiz game, I believe it is called, or something similar to that. But yes, that's why I put it in the queue. I think it's called the quiz game. But it is a brain teaser game wholly in Japanese, and I think it's like, you know, brain training and whatnot. But still, nice to have, and hey, as a PS2 collector, you've got to get every simple 2000 game. I mean, it's just the bread and butter of the system in Japan. So I definitely am trying to get them all. Very hard to find in the UK, especially with shipping fees, but nice to grab and find cute little cheap simple 2000 games when I can. And before I wrap things up, there are now going to be a few hidden gems or obscurities as well. Some aren't going to go towards the game count, some are, but I just want to include them as well in this total and everything for the collection update video. So I hope you guys enjoyed these updates too. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you guys is an insane CEX roulette I got. I honestly can't believe the condition I got this in. I'm trying to get all these kind of peripherals as boxed as best I can. I'm not too bothered, but the box would be really nice. But this is still £6 in CEX. One was listed, and whoever decided to donate or, trade this into CEX, all I can say is thanks, really, because I don't think I'm ever going to get a condition or get lucky like this on CEX again. But I'll show it quickly on the camera here. DJ Hero, yes, the PS2 version, and I'll quickly show you guys on the camera as well if I can, just how lucky I was with this. This was such a beautiful condition. This insane. I mean, the box is a little bit rough for its age. Don't get me wrong. Like you can see here, like there is little nigs here and there, but the box is not ripped. It is completely intact. It is fantastic condition. And the box itself it came in is, I believe, the normal version of it. It was bubble wrapped really beautifully as well. And I do not believe this ever got played. This probably was something that was sitting in someone's garage. But, I mean, the camera's not going to do it any justice, really, because the setup's really bad. But here is the DJ deck. I'm going to try to pick up the camera a bit. The DJ deck is there in beautiful, beautiful condition. And it does come with the big deal breaker for everyone is, because this is what the problem is with these DJ decks, is the USB receiver. It is there, wrapped up there in the bubble wrap. But the reason I think this has never been played or touched by the seller is because it came with the game sealed. Insane. And the safety instructions are intact. So I've got to say, what a huge freaking win this was on CX for me. Insane win. And just a big thank you to, I guess, whoever traded this in, because it went to a collector that really wanted it. It's not going to get resold or anything like that. I'm so chuffed. So thank you to the seller that decided to put this on CEX, trade it in so I could grab it. Thank you very much, and I'm so happy to have it. Now, going from one peripheral to another, it's another really, really insane grab. I'm so happy to grab it. This franchise has a load of games in Japan, so I probably will grab them at some point, but the only North American release of this game with the peripheral set, the Taiko Drum Master games. I can't believe this never came out on PAL, honestly. But yes, maybe because of the Dragon Ball Z songs on here, I don't know, but once again, the camera's not going to do it justice, sadly. But it is a beautiful condition, this. If I can open it from this angle without looking, I probably can't. There we go. So here it is. It is the complete set. I won't get it all fully out, but it's the drum, the game, all ready to be played and ready to drum. I really am happy to get this one in my collection as well. Super hyped. Love getting these obscure games. And another North American exclusive, technically. It did come out in Japan as well, but, so happy to have this and glad it's a part of my collection. Another weird one that I will show quickly off now, which is kind of really cool in its own way. The Naked Brothers band here with the microphone set and sealed, so one day we'll play that. But for PAL collectors as well, a heads up. A very rare PAL version of this exists as well. We believe, I think Syke really looked into this with his collector friends. Syke plays PS2. Heads up and a good shout out to the guy. This is the German version. There is no other version that exists in PAL. But for PAL collectors, yes, this is a game. It does exist. And it is quite obscure and hard to find. I grabbed this copy off of Amazon for a very fair price. So if you're trying to get a full PAL collection, be aware of Naked Brothers Band. It does exist. But yeah, I got the North American version with a microphone, a nice extra goofy edition, and one to add to the complete collection total. Now it's time for a little bit of jank. Maybe I'm worried how these will play when we do get around to them. But we already have in our collection the Real Play Golf Series, if you didn't know, which comes with this lovely, lovely piece of tat, which is the golf club. I dread to think how that will play. But they released other games as well, the Real Play series, and I've got another two that I'm dreading to play when they do come up in my challenge. That is Real Play Puzzle Sphere and Real Play Pool. Oh yeah, these exist. Lovely PAL exclusives that come with lovely peripherals, which is the puzzle ball, which doesn't want to stay on camera, but there you go, that lovely thing. Just stay there, it's fine. And the other peripheral, which is the delicious snooker cue. Oh yes. These are games, and there's still one I need. It's a racing game that has a racing wheel controller that I will get one day, Real Play Racing, but two more Real Play games in my collection, and yeah, dreading to see how they do eventually play. So yeah, they are games that are all on the count above that increased our total count. Some quick honorable mentions that are going to be added to my collection, but won't be added to the grand total for my games to beat because of licensing issues or variant issues. The first one I'll quickly show off is this. Now, this is Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I showing this off? It's just, you know, Code Veronica, nothing special. Well, there is technically something special about this. This is a very, very interestingly rare variant in PAL. I'll show you exactly what I mean when I grab the other disc. Where is it? I should have grabbed this before. Bad streamer coos. Here we go. So, this is the cover everyone knows. This is the Resident Evil Code Veronica X that has the infamous Devil May Cry demo. And this is what you will probably see. Collectors, you probably have this box art. It's a very, very common box art. It's the only box art, but believe it or not, as you can see here, there was a version that got rid of the demo. I believe this was like the final print, final run of this when they didn't decide to give the demo anymore. But here we go. I saw this and was like, oh my goodness, I want to get that cool variant. Because I actually really like it. I just like the non-demo front cover. So, like the little variants now and then, and the Code Veronica variant is definitely one I'm happy to grab. And above that as well, I have a couple more of the SingStar games that I'll quickly show off, because these games can't be played on Twitch because of licensing issues. And the new SingStar games I grabbed were the SingStar Queen, SingStar Rock Ballads, SingStar Singing Along with Disney, and a more Euro exclusive SingStar Russian Hits, I believe this is. So yeah, another 4 SingStar games. These don't get added to the grand total of my beats total on Twitch. I'll work out some way to play these, stream these, and add them to like beat totals, but they are my final few games in the collection, one way or another. And that is that. There we go. That is the collection update. As you can see, that is another 100 plus PS2 games I've added. Mostly PAL, some North American, and a little bit of Japanese games sprinkled on the top. Now, the PAL games, I'm getting very close to the completion goal of that full collection. I still need Phoenix games and a couple of the 505 games, plus, if I really want to go for it, the regional exclusive Buzz and SingStar games. I'm not too fussed about the regional exclusive SingStar and Buzz games as of everything else, but yeah, always trying really hard to get those Phoenix and last 505 games. I mean, honestly, if you are watching this video and you have Phoenix games and 505 games lying around, honestly, reach out to me. I'd gladly take them off your hands, you know, exchange stuff, either it be through money or whatever it is. I'd love them in my collection, from one collector from love to another, or just someone that wants to just get rid of stuff that's lying around. I'll gladly accept it and would want to add it to my collection, because not only am I trying to collect all these games, I'm also trying to play long playthroughs. If you've never seen my channel before, I'm at the moment doing a challenge where I'm trying to archive full playthroughs of every PS2 title that's ever been released and trying to get to the credits or 100% beating them however I feel. So yes, it's a great archive footage I'm trying to collect for this channel for years to come, and for many to watch and enjoy and experience the full beauty that is the PS2 library. Also, if anyone does have any like weird dev discs or any, you know, demos or anything out there that you may have come across and you can share with me, I'd love to have copies of that. You can even burn copies of those demo unit discs and probably send it to me that way, or let me know details how I could get off of you. I have a modded PS2 anyway, so I can check out that footage. I'd really love to see stuff like that as well. Always love lost media and X dev units and dev game titles. But either way, always trying to collect everything PS2 related. But thank you for watching this video all the way through. I hope you guys enjoyed the picked up videos. Another 100 plus games. I'm really chuffed. 2,200 plus titles is an insane amount of PS2 games. There is still more out there, especially North American exclusives I need to grab. It's about another 200 or so North American exclusives, I think, off the top of my head. And then there's the Japan library, which I would like to get, but most of it is visual novels, and until maybe AI technology or translation technology really excels, it's a language barrier I can't cross at the moment. But thank you all for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, down below there's a spreadsheet that shows exactly my full collection if you want to know exactly all the games I own so far, plus the games I've beaten and everything else part of my challenge I do on Twitch. I'll stop rambling. Thank you very much for watching, though, and I'll see you one way or another on maybe YouTube comments or maybe even my Twitch streams. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.